On June 9th, a large group of individuals came into the city to do a bunch of these sideshows, one of the biggest being here at the Embarcadero. Now, it's hard to tell from this particular video, but there are hundreds of people here. There were even people who had rented hotel rooms at, I believe it's the Hyatt, to live stream it. Now, these types of lawlessness we've seen it continue in San Francisco, especially under London Breed's leadership and her choice to defund the police. And so a lot of people are rightfully upset, and they're saying, where are the cops? Why didn't they do anything? And, eventually got broken up. I'm going to add my comments, but Chief Scott came on and released a statement a couple days later. Let's see what he has to say.
I'm Police Chief Bill Scott. Over the weekend, there were several stunt driving events that took place around the Bay Area. Unfortunately, the mob of some 200 rogue vehicles converged on San Francisco. I want to be absolutely clear. These illegal events are unacceptable in our city. Early Sunday morning, the convoy of criminals headed to the city from the East Bay. The San Francisco Police Department learned about the meetup location and was standing by. Unfortunately, when confronted by the SFPD, the group splintered into several groups, which then proceeded to conduct dangerous stunt driving at various locations around the city. At one point, one of the vehicles involved in the melee caught fire on the Embarcadero. These cases are challenging and frankly extremely dangerous for our officers and the public. SFPD officers and responding firefighters face reckless drivers careening out of control, as well as explosives and potentially blinding laser pointers. At each location around the city, officers gathered evidence, developed a plan, and ultimately flushed the vehicles out of the locations. This is our primary focus during the events to ensure public safety. While we towed several vehicles, I want the public to know these investigations are far from over. We will be working to hold people accountable and impound vehicles in the coming days and weeks. This is our usual practice.
Okay, so you can see, as Chief Scott said, the police had a plan, and they tried to stop it before it happened. But what he doesn't get into is that he just doesn't have enough officers to respond to these types of situations because we defunded the police, and our staffing is now at less than half of what it needs to be. And there's a philosophy of if you come into and break these things up too aggressively, that they will all splinter and take to the public streets and create safety hazards for pedestrians and other drivers. And while I understand that, I think we need a better response. Personally, I think we need to, if we have the appropriate staffing levels, we need to have a plan where we cordon off the area so they can't flee by cars, use our garbage trucks to block the streets, something, and then go in there, shut it down just like you would any other riot, arrest and ticket, everybody who's performing or participating in these illegal sideshows. And this just is part of the problem that the city is facing. It seems like we have no rules. People can shoplift with impunity. These sideshows go on with what would seem to be impunity. Now, I'm hoping that Chief Scott will be able to identify some of these drivers and impound and ticket their vehicles. But we need more police officers. We need a new chief of police. We need new leadership in City Hall. So this November, please don't vote for any of the incumbents for mayor. And for supervisors, please consider voting for me for District 1.